Right, you've spoken about the coin report. Do you remember the questions being asked earlier on today by Ms. Price? Yeah?
Yes.
And you've said about the coin report, this is in your evidence today, was that in relation to the expert's opinion, at the time, there was a lot of knocking of that report, both Fujitsu and Post Office. Okay? At the time, when you were dealing with the coin report and discussing it with Mr. Marsh, was the knocking from Post Office via Mr. Marsh about the coin report?
There was a background noise from my company, Post Office Limited, that was basically saying, this is not a good report. This is not a sound report.
Who did that background noise come from?
Came from a variety of places.
What? Name one.
Well, certainly when Tony spoke to me on the day that we have talked about earlier today, he was dismissive of that report. But there were, I suspect, back in the bowels, as it were, of the organisation, there was significant people saying, this is no good.
You suspect. Now, Mr. Miller, some part of your evidence, it appears as though you're speaking from a kind of a distance, like an out-of-body experience. What do you mean you suspect that there was some talk within Post Office about it? Was there or was there not?
Yes.
Right. From who?
I know, I heard from Tony Marsh. I really don't know who else was saying these things. I'm afraid I don't. I'm sorry.
Okay. You've also said this, both in your statement and in your evidence. You definitely did not read the report at the time. That's your evidence about it.
It is.
So are we to understand that you can think back to the time when you've got Mr. Marsh in front of you and he's referring to this report? Are you saying that you can say in your own mind, from your recollection, no, thanks, Mr. Marsh, I won't read it. It's okay, no problem.
No, I didn't say
right.
that.
Why are you saying you definitely didn't read it? Do you remember not reading it?
When I read it, when it was made available to me for the second time via this inquiry, I had not read that.
So Mr. Marsh comes to you with a report that he's knocking, that you're hearing something going on in the background about from the Post Office knocking this report, and you decide not to read it. Is that what you're saying, Mr. Miller?
I didn't read it. I've made that very clear to this inquiry, that I didn't read it, and it's a matter of some regret to me.
Right. Mr. Miller, one of two things arise out of that. You're either lying through your teeth or you're a complete incompetent. Which?
I'm not lying through my teeth.
Right, so incompetence.
If you wish to say that, yes.
Or do you agree it's incompetence not to have read a report?
I am
in these circumstances.
I am not happy that I didn't read that report.
You may be aware that Alan Cook, who gave evidence to the inquiry last week, his position was that he did not appreciate that Post Office were conducting private prosecutions of SPMs until 2009. What do you make of that?
I'm surprised he wasn't told.
You were the temporary MD for 2 to 3 months before he took up the role, and you handed over to him when he arrived. Do you think you bore any responsibility for drawing that to his attention or not?
Probably.